Chapter 1 Crazy Girl. When the phone ringing, Yue Liang's rapidly spinning pen fell to the ground with a snap. The number on the caller ID was familiar to the eye. Legend has Yue Liang, who was as elegant as a prince, held his forehead speechlessly. Qiu Xiaoya, are your phone ringtones more savage than others? Qiu Xiaoya? Yue Liang answered the phone, but he didn't expect that this incomparably normal question would have extremely serious consequences. The over there was so loud that he almost threw the phone away. You idiot. Don't call me Qiu Xiaoya. With his eyes closed, he could think of a woman showing her teeth and claws. Yue Liang was a little confused. The female bandit said, "Dead Yue Liang. Get out of here for my mother in 10 minutes, or you will regret coming to this world." Yue Liang silently listened to the phone over there, with a thud, with a heartfelt sympathy. Qiu Xiaoya was a crazy girl who spoke with a little curl when she spoke. When Yue Liang's name comes to her mouth, it becomes Yue Liang, which sounds like a silly little girl who served the old lady in the deep house in the old days. Yue Liang's repeated protests ended in vain, because the bandit said, "You should be matched with the name of a girl when you look like this fake girl. How convenient it is to meet a handsome man to engage in gay in the future." Yue Liang was indignant, but unfortunately the scholar met the soldier, so he could only slander. "I thought that your name, Ugly Duckling, was given by educated parents at first glance." Since childhood, he educated his daughter to match the famous number 1 role written by the Danish writer. The famous number 1 character in the pen is on par. Of course, I just thought about it. I don't dare to say such things to the bandit even if I has the guts. The crazy woman doesn't know that the handsome face of His Royal Highness who loves flowers and flowers blooms. If she doesn't deal with it, pay my floating fist can greet him immediately. 10 minutes later, His Royal Highness, who was walking on the road with a rate of 12%, drove his sports car to the downstairs of the crazy girl. The landing site of these huge hidden weapons free fall is less than a meter away from Yue Liang. Before Yue Liang took one foot out of the car, he opened his mouth and fossilized in place. An old lady with a red cuff next to her saw it and shook her head. Little couple should not smash things out when they fight. How dangerous it is. Yue Liang thought, can he pretend that there is no such day in his life? How can I draw a line with this crazy girl? This is a problem. When Yue Liang opened the door of Qiu Xiaoya's house that he forgot to close, the bandit or the heroine was staring at a huge mirror in a daze, and her eyes were a little red and swollen, like a stupid rabbit who was just beaten with a stick. She was unkempt, her face was rooky, and her eyes were dull. Next to her was a messy cream cake that had been dug up by a spoon. Yue Liang accidentally stepped on a soft thing on the ground. Staggering, looking down, it turned out to be a dolphin doll covered in gray. "Ah, this girl, she is truly unparalleled. At least you should clean it up." Yue Liang sighed, bent down resignedly, put stacks of messy magazines on the bookshelf, and threw all kinds of snack packages into the trash can. As for the dolphin, he put it into the washing machine with the dirty clothes. Qiu Xiaoya originally silently watched His Royal Highness, whose 10 fingers did not touch the spring water, rushing in and out like an uncle at home. Hearing the clear and charming voice of His Royal Highness, the prince rambled like a super dad, then she received the sentence. "Occasionally clean up yourself. You're ugly." She felt a little bit of movement as if the electricity was suddenly turned on. The bandit curled her lips aggrievedly, with a few more tears in her eyes, and said vaguely, "They're back." "Ah." Yue Liang couldn't hear clearly. Qiu Xiaoya stood up suddenly, her eyes widened, and she stared at Yue Liang fiercely and roared, "I said, they Lin Chao and Feng Xiaoan will be back next month." Yue Liang was holding a bag of saponin and powder in his hand and was about to pour it into the washing machine. Hearing that, his hands shook, and a small half-bag of saponin and powder fell out. "It's still a month, why are you so excited?" "What am I excited about? What am I excited about?" Qiu Xiaoya was furious. What do you know? You don't know anything. Don't talk nonsense here. Yue Liang covered the washing machine with an expressionless face, pressed the start button, turned around and wiped his hands, picked up his jacket, and walked towards the door. Yes, I came all the way here to speak sarcastically. End of chapter 1.